we're back again. Term has started. God, my hair. This is the trouble. My hair is clean, but because it's getting so long, my hair doesn't do well when it's long and thick, and it just looks awful. It looks so messy. Ugh, it's so frustrating. Never mind. But we're back for another term. So I've just had online tutor time, and I was free period 1, so I've just finished some marking that I wanted to get done. So that's all done. So I'm pleased. Lots to do, obviously. I've got a couple of live lessons for the next couple of hours, which will be fun. And just awaiting on this announcement later from the government about schools, even though it's all been leaked to the press once again, that every single student is going back on the 8th of March, which is just crazy. Like, I expected and wanted schools to open for year 11s and year 13s. And when I say school opens, they've always been open the whole time, but in terms of open to everyone. I expected year 11s and 13s back at least, because obviously their exams, possibly even year 10s, because obviously, and year 12s, because they're coming up to their exams. The fact that every single student is going back and there are no new safety precautions in place, apart from testing, but then that may not happen or may have to change, just feels crazy. It just feels like, we're just walking back into the lion's den. And there'll be all sorts of comments from people and all sorts of reports about how, there's no evidence and all this that teachers and schools affect things, which is just crazy. Like, we say there's no data, just look at the graphs. As soon as schools close, the cases go down. As soon as schools reopen, the cases go up. Just look at September until we lock down again. It frustrates me because there's an agenda here by people, including the government, wanting to get people back to work so they don't have to look after the kids, and also certain people, some of whom I think just are sick of their children, having them around every day. And I get it, trust me. And it's not that we don't want to go back. I really do want to go back to school, because online learning is just nowhere near as enjoyable. It's a lot more work and hard work to keep people engaged, especially in my subject. So I can promise you it's nothing to do with wanting to stay at home. I'm sick of being at home. But we have to be safe. And, I saw towards the end of before Christmas, we'd done quite well with people not catching it. And then towards the end, just before Christmas, about a week or two before, all of a sudden it started spreading around the school. And I had multiple students who I'd been in contact with, luckily not close contact with, but had in my classroom. I had people just getting COVID. And, and a child who I think lost someone they lived with. I can't remember who it was, as in what family relation. But I'm sure they lived with them because, they all got it. And then, the guilt they start feeling as to whether they passed it on. It's, and the other thing I'm tired of is but what about-ism. I hate what abouts. As in when someone says, we should vaccinate teachers, and someone says, what about the shop workers? Yes, they should also be vaccinated. But when we're talking about schools reopening, you talk about vaccinating the teachers. When we're talking about supermarkets and their safety, we talk about vaccination. Stop trying to divert, things. I think anyone with a public job or a job where they can't socially distance safely should be a priority for the vaccine. Equally though, I would rather my vulnerable colleagues and vulnerable people get it probably before me, being as I'm younger. But Soon. But we've got a couple of weeks to prepare, which makes a difference. Usually we don't get so much notice. So, yeah, it'll be fine. We'll make the most of it. And I'm looking forward to seeing the kids again. And I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues again. Anyway, I've got off a 5-minute rant. That helps that makes up for my lack of videos over the weekend. But, yeah. Let's do a live lesson.
Good morning. It is just before 10 o'clock, and I'm working, as I should be. Yeah, I just decided to start my videos for today. I know I did take one when I was getting out of the shower of the cat trying to break into the bathroom. Yeah, I'm in a good mood this morning. Just got an absolute steal on a Mother's Day present. So that's now fully sorted and I don't have to stress out because, you know, my mum deserves the world and all I can buy her is a candle, as a card somewhere says, I'm sure. But I didn't buy her a candle. I went crazy this year. There was, so obviously I get my Look Fantastic box. And they do sort of like Christmas boxes and Mother's Day boxes, so I've bought her the Mother's Day box because I'm cheap and I got a discount because I'm a beauty box subscriber. But like the one thing she actually wanted wasn't in there, which was a brown eyeliner pencil, so I've bought that and I'll just hope that I can get that in. Yeah. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. I might go get some breakfast. I might not. I might just get a coffee. I don't know. With my velvetizer, it came with these little latte sachets, and I kind of remember it being a bit minging, but I might go remind myself if it is actually minging. I feel like it could be. I've got gingerbread syrup if not, so I'll just make myself a normal coffee and stick some of that in it. Yeah, better go do that then.
Good afternoon. I'm not feeling great today. Don't know why. Could just be because I'm back at work. But also, my heel from walking in my boots yesterday is shredded. Completely shredded. And it wasn't from walking. Yesterday, was it? No, it was. Okay, that was a quick turnover. It started to try and scab over, but the skin just fell off. Like, it was green and fell off from literally going for a walk in my boots. So again, like I did when I got in and saw that my heel was shredded, I cleaned it and then I put on antiseptic cream. I've left it exposed now so that it can get some air and just chill, but it hurts like a bitch. Work. That's all I'm doing. I'm hoping to get some motivation to pick back up where I left off with the costume. But I'm also just not feeling any kind of anything. I'm just tired of being tired all the time and not knowing why. Whoop.
Just on a lunch break. So I've come to sit down and just look out the window. It's quite relaxing, actually. Strange. Feels very peaceful. I think because it's been a hectic morning. I'll grab something to eat in a moment and get on with some planning for the next couple of weeks. I feel a bit more behind in terms of preparation than I was when this lockdown started. In terms of knowing exactly what I want to achieve. It's fine, I'm not that behind. I'm just a little bit behind on a couple of year groups. I think a lot of that comes from this not knowing when we were going back, but now that we don't know for sure until this evening if it's definitely going to be the 8th, but it seems like 95% likely, doesn't it, based on the leaks, that we'll be going back on the 8th of March. But it sort of makes you sort of go, well, I'm not going to plan weeks and weeks ahead like I normally would, because am I doing it online? Am I doing it in person? So I'm not surprised that that's a factor. But yeah, I think take it a few days at a time, plan ahead a few days at a time is the best way to go, and then we can see what happens. But like I say, by tonight we'll hopefully have a bit more of an idea. Fingers crossed. Talking about schools going back, I've just watched the most ridiculous thing. The vaccines minister was just asked on the news what about schools and vaccines and stuff, and he said something like, on the 8th of March, which is 3 weeks after the middle of April, when all over 50s will be vaccinated. The 8th of March, which is 3 weeks after the middle of April. Does he mean May? Has he got confused with the M's? But if the vaccines minister isn't sure, and if their whole thing is, oh, we'll do it after everyone's been vaccinated and the 3 weeks for the vaccines take effect, why are we going back at the 8th of March? I don't mind, I just would like a logical answer. March, 3 weeks after the middle of April. It gets worse. The vaccines minister, who said on the BBC News that the 8th of March is 3 weeks after the middle of April. You know, you think, oh, maybe it's just a little flub, a little mistake. They happen. But he then also went on Sky News this morning and said the exact same thing. He said, it's no coincidence that 3 weeks after the middle of April is the first week of March. Does he think the calendar goes January, February, May, April, March? Is that why they need schools open? Because they need to learn the calendar? Like, what's going on? This is why people are confused. Like, how can you... Oh, it's ridiculous. And I hope this gets a lot of attention, because you know that if it was someone like Diane Abbott, it'd go mental. Getting very political now, but this is why when schools say, or anyone says, that they don't understand the rules, how can you when these are the people you have on telly to tell you what's going on? This is the vaccines minister. Come on.
Here in my face. So it's like 4 o'clock. And my boss from the cafe has just messaged and said that we can have people dining in from the 17th of May at this point. That's what it looks like. So that's when it's likely that I'm going to go back to work at the cafe. So we've got March and April and most of May, so that's basically like another 3 months where I'm just going to be here, unless I end up with more production stuff to do, which I'm hopeful for, because fully thought we'd be going back to work like sooner than that to do like takeout or something. That was my arm on something, I'm not farting. But yeah. a long time in it. I haven't really looked into any of the roadmap announcements or anything. I'm fairly certain I saw that kids would be going back on the 8th of March. But then again, I don't actually know what month we're in now occasionally. The only reason I know what day of lockdown we're in is because I write it at the bottom of the screen every single day. Tomorrow's day 50. In case anyone's wondering. I say tomorrow. Tomorrow for us, when we're filming, it'll be day 50. However, as you're watching this, day 50 of lockdown. And that's after, like, what? A month and a bit. And we've got another 2 and a bit months before I can go back to work. Fun.
So another quiet day of videos from me, as you've probably gathered by now. Yeah, nothing really interesting to say. I'm wearing pyjamas, so I'm in bed, but I'm wearing pyjamas. As far as I'm concerned, in lockdown, pyjamas qualifies as actual clothes, so I am fully dressed as far as I'm concerned. Anyone who disagrees can fight me, but socially distance fighting because pandemic. But yes, and then I've also got a beanie on, which is also a weird combination, wearing pyjamas and a beanie, because that's new to me, but yeah, deal with it. That's just because my head is very cold. Unseen side effect of shaving your head is it is very cold 24/7, which I distinctly remember because I used to have like shoulder length hair, and the very first thing I remember thinking when I got it shaved was this started at the back and just immediately felt the draft. I was like, oh, that's something new to deal with. So I had that again when I went this much further and went fully bald. You can also see how quickly it's going back as well, just because the joys of dark hair. Or you can see how bad my hairline is. I don't know how to do that. Fun. We'll just put that on. But yes, and also another thing as well that's extra annoying about, just on the topic of hair, because I'm talking about it, so I might as well. One thing I always forget how much it annoys me and why I let it grow out so much before is because it basically becomes Velcro for a while. So for example, if I was to try and pull this beanie off right now, you can see that clinging onto my head there, because while it's like this, it's literally, it turns to Velcro, which is very annoying at night because I've got jersey sheets, as you probably can't tell by the camera, and they cling to it when I'm asleep. So when I try and cover, because I always have to cover my head when I'm asleep, just the way I sleep, and it always clings to this, so it ends up to a point where, like, if I try and snuggle myself in tightly and then try and stretch, it basically starts pulling me back like that, which is not comfortable. So yeah, there's an insight into my sleeping life at the minute now. But yeah, so I'm just sort of doing an admin day. I'm not going to show you too much just because I'm trying to find the best way to show this and not... Okay, I'm not going to show any of it. Just trust me, I've got a spreadsheet in front of me of all my gigs lined up for the rest of the year. So far, at least, ones I planned. Lots faster than I would like, but Oslo lockdown, and I might be going to China in a few months, so I've had to turn down a few things, so I'm not even sure if I'll be able to do all these, to be honest, but we'll find out. Yeah, so just doing an admin day, going through all of that, just added a new one to it, which is quite nice. Yeah. Also, one thing that's been very nice as well that I've just mentioned to Anna as well. I'm not going to say exact figures just because I don't really like discussing money side of things with regard to drag and what people are paying. But basically, gig it the other day, did the gig, they paid beforehand, that was great, cool, whatever. Woke up the next morning, I really should have said all this yesterday, but I was just dead, so I didn't. But yeah, and then I woke up yesterday morning to a notification saying they had paid again. I thought, oh, like the exact same amount. I was like, oh, well, they must have forgotten, blah, 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 I'll just send it back. Good Samaritan and all that jazz. Read a note on PayPal, turns out they left as a tip. So that was very nice, seeing that I technically got paid 100% tip, so can't say no to that. And then I noticed in emails as well, they'd emailed me about it, and they'd left another note as well from someone who attended just to pass on, and that was just very nice to read. So I'm very appreciative of that. And then today, the one I've just added, originally quoted in one figure, and then they've came back to me and said their budget allows, because it's a corporate gig, quote unquote. It's a weird thing. It's like a group, but yeah. Yeah, and they came back and said, oh, well, for the budget, we can actually pay 50% more than that. So if that's fine with you, we'll pay you what you said plus 50%. And I'm not going to say no to that. So there's a bit of extra money for me, which I'm not going to say no about. So I have just been going through all my admin. I think I'm done now. There's a few tech stuff I want to do for the sake of digital drag gigs, one of which is sorting out a number for a friend's birthday on the birthday night. You can just had dinner. On the 22nd of March, I need to send a friend a video recorded performance for their drag birthday thing. And then the 2nd of April for their actual birthday and drag birthday, I think. I'm not sure if there is an actual birthday, though. I need to double check that because for they've released their drag birthday on the 2nd of April, they're also doing a live stream alongside of that. So need to get all that put together. So I've got exactly 1 month today, which I've just realised. So fun. I think I know what I'm going to do. But we'll see. I'm undecided. Then the meantime, I've also been I've also been finishing my Marvel binge watch-a-thon thing. And I am currently up to Infinity War. Yes, I just finished Ant-Man and the Wasp. And yeah. So that's enough of that. So I think, because some of the films aren't on Disney Plus, like the original Incredible Hulk film, which I'm not even fully sure that counts as canon, to be honest, because the main actor changed, and then nothing else has really been referred back to it. So yeah. And then the Spider-Man film, which is very annoying because I'd love to rewatch the Spider-Man films, but don't seem to be able to find them anywhere without buying them on like Amazon Prime, and I'm not about to do that. Thank you very much. Want to see them, not that much. So yeah, so I've just got those last few ones to watch, and I might rewatch all of WandaVision again, just for the sake of that's canonically being the next part of the MCU timeline. So that's sort of where I'm at with that. Yeah, so I think that's all I've got really to say today. Still need to tidy up the living room, which I was going to do today, but evidently did not do, so that is tomorrow's problem. And I think I might even treat you to showing me cleaning that, so you can see, so it's not just me sitting talking to a camera like it's been every day for the past week, it feels like. Yeah. Just life in lockdown. I know Stevie's been mentioning it a lot in their videos, but I think all of us sort of at a point where we've got nothing new to say. Sort of wake up, do what we do, film the same stuff as the day before, go to bed, rinse and repeat. And that's pretty much me at the minute. My daily routine is literally wake up, reply to my notifications from when I was asleep, and then that's about it. Yeah, so hopefully I'm going to start doing some more drag stuff in the coming weeks. Like I said, I've got quite a few digital shows lined up, so I'm definitely good. So seeing that these are actually quite successful for me, I'm going to look into sort of push that and hopefully get some gigs that way as well soon. But we'll see. Also, as one thing I'm sure a lot of people are going to mention in this video is Boris Johnson has announced all the plans for things opening back up. Yeah. I have a lot of opinions about it, but there hasn't been the official... There's been the live stream from inside House of Parliament, but there hasn't been the official thing yet, so 40 minutes I might have more to say about that. But at the minute, from what I've seen, I'm not a huge fan of everything he's doing. I will admit I haven't looked into it too properly, so I'm not going to give any too strong opinions now, in case I have to backtrack tomorrow. From what I can see, there's some things I'm not super happy with. Also, it's been a while since I looked at it, so I can't remember from the top of my head. So I'm not, so once again, just trying to be very vague about it. But one thing I did notice was the club's not reopening until August, I think, which is concerning because, fair enough, I wasn't a full-time drag queen before this. I'm not going to be a full-time drag queen coming out of it, so it doesn't affect me too badly. But the idea of drag shows potentially not being open again until, like, starting again until August, September time, I know months, is kind of concerning. I get that it could be the best thing to do, but also this is very similar to the layout he laid out last time, and we're in lockdown 3, so I'll let you decide how well that worked out last time. But yeah, just have to wait and see. Potentially, it's looking like we might only have a month or so left of these vlogs. I can't remember what the first date was, but I think it was mid-March. So yeah. All that means that we're about halfway, actually, come to think of it, because it's 4th of Jan, so just say all of January. Yeah, so I think we're about the halfway point. Ish. I don't know, it's nearly a 10-minute video of me just sitting talking here. I'm as sick of doing these 10-minute videos as people are of probably skipping through them and not actually listening to what I have to say, because I can't say I blame you. I skip them myself when I'm watching these back, and I will definitely be skipping this when I watch this back tomorrow. So yeah, so that is my 10-minute rant of the day. And hopefully I will have some more interesting stuff to show tomorrow, other than literally a white wall. That's not even white, it's like that annoying yellowy white thing that was really popular that I've never been a fan of, but here we are. Grey shirt and black bed frame. Literally couldn't be a less interesting visual if I tried. Anna, feel free to whack up some infographics throughout all of this just to make it more interesting, whack up some sparkles and rainbows, just so it isn't as visually dull as possible. And in the meantime, I will see you tomorrow, unless I see some stuff from Boris Johnson in half an hour that I absolutely hate and want to rant about. So hopefully we'll be seeing you tomorrow in a good mood and not very angry in half an hour.
With a range of measures to address variants of concern, including surge PCR testing and enhanced contact tracing. We can't, I'm afraid, rule out reimposing restrictions at local or regional level if evidence suggests.
So, school's back, as we knew. Shame to hear about theatres not being until at least June, July time.